Aren't you pissed off? Aren't you angry? Isn't your blood boiling? Say, you can't do this. You're attacking the whole justice system, the whole law and order system. You're attacking society itself. We can't have people blowing up the 3rd precinct, the police precinct in the middle of Minneapolis. Send in the National Guard and put this down. But that's not what he did. He sat back. And on occasion, when he was asked about these things, it was very evil, very squirrely. And he would talk about, this is all this pent-up rage and anger, George Floyd and so forth. He wanted it to burn. I think the most poignant demonstration of where this man stands was demonstrated to us in the hell of 2020. What took place in Minneapolis and spread to other cities didn't have to take place. If you had a law and order governor, if you had a governor who believed in protecting the innocent citizens of Minneapolis, if you had a governor who wasn't hostile to law enforcement, if you had a governor who wasn't an ideological Marxist, Minneapolis would not have burned. We saw what Ronald Reagan did. We've seen what other governors, mayors have done in order to protect their cities, but this guy's an ideologue. We talk about George Soros. We talk about the radicals on the left. That's this guy. That's this guy. And the media will continue to try and hide it, and I and others will continue to try and expose it. You can't run a presidential election this way and just get away with it, installing the Democrat presidential nominee. She picks another kook, radical kook. It's just incredible. And it's amazing when you think about his relations with China. China is a violent police state, which he's sympathetic toward. The United States is not a violent police state, and yet he hates the American cop. Let's take a look at this. The New York Times, of all places, May 29, 2020, how a night of chaos in Minneapolis unfolded. Go.
The 3rd precinct of the Minneapolis Police Department on fire. Nearby businesses ablaze.
All right, stop. You're governor of a state and you see that. Aren't you pissed off? Aren't you angry? Isn't your blood boiling? Say, you can't do this. You're attacking the whole justice system, the whole law and order system. You're attacking society itself. We can't have people blowing up the 3rd precinct, the police precinct in the middle of Minneapolis. Send in the National Guard, particularly if you're a former National Guardsman. Send in the National Guard and put this down. But that's not what he did. He sat back. And on occasion, when he was asked about these things, he was very squirrely. He was very evil, very squirrely. And he would talk about, this is all this pent-up rage and anger, George Floyd and so forth. He wanted it to burn, because if he didn't want it to burn, he could have stopped it. There's no other explanation, is there? Is this really what we want in this country? San Francisco Harris and Minneapolis Walz? Is this what we want on a nationwide scale? Go.
This is how the night of May 28th unfolded. George Floyd's arrest and death in police custody on Monday set off protests in the Twin Cities. The protesters are demanding that criminal charges be brought against the officers involved.
Put their fists up! Yeah! We all here! All lives matter!
When that didn't happen on Thursday, some demonstrators escalated their tactics, while others tried to keep the peace.
By the way, you know why? You got a white guy in what looks to be a minority black neighborhood throwing stones at the cops because many of those citizens know what the hell is going to happen, and they don't want their town burned, and they don't want riots. And much of the rioting and the burning and the attacking were not citizens who actually lived in these communities, other people who came to Minneapolis or in other parts of Minnesota, other parts of Minneapolis, and created the violence. Go.
The situation remains unchanged outside of the 3rd precinct. Just a group out there engaged in peaceful activity.
Police scanner audio and footage from outside the precinct provide insight into what happened.
9901, 9901 emergency. We got individuals breaching the gate at the 3rd precinct. We also got people trying to breach the front doors.
The police shoot tear gas from grenade launchers.
You want
This back and forth with protesters continues for about an hour.
They're about to breach the back gate. They're taking heavy rocks.
Heavy rocks. Please air the route that everyone should take.
Southbound. We're going southbound.
Copy. Evacuation route is southbound.
Around 10 p.m., the officers begin evacuating the precinct.
Where's the governor? Where's the governor? It's going on for hours. He's watching on TV. Go ahead.
Information citywide, the 3rd precinct has been compromised.
3rd precinct is up in flames.
On Friday, one former officer was charged with murder and manslaughter in connection with George Floyd's death.
See it? Coming to a community near you. When you attack law enforcement, they allowed that precinct to be burned, and those cops had to escape for their lives. There was no backup as the governor watched. As the mayor begged the governor to call in the National Guard, the governor watched. Why would Kamala Harris pick that governor as her running mate?
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.